Update 23.4 is live on PC and players can now play the Frame Fighter game mode. Now in order to do so you will need 50,000 Simaris standing and then visit him in any of the relays and purchase the Ludoplex. Now when it comes to the Ludoplex, it is a decoration for your orbiter, so you will need to place it somewhere in your orbiter to start playing Frame Fighter. Now also inside the Ludoplex is the new access to Wormius and Flappy Zephyr, so if you want to play them from now on, you will have to buy their ROMs from Simaris as well, which is a double purchase of 25,000 standing for each of the game modes, on top of the initial purchase of the Ludoplex. So going back to Frame Fighter, if you want to start it, place down your Ludoplex, engage with it, and then simply click Frame Fighter. From there, invite your friends using the invite bar on the top of the screen, and when it comes to choosing fighters, you will have your own fashion frame available to your characters, and in order to get the other Warframes in the game, you will have to go around the star chart and scan new fragments located around each tile set, and depending on the fragment you scan, you will get a Warframe. For example, here I got Nezha. Also in update 23.4 was 3 new operator amp components. We have a new prism, scaffold, and brace. The requirements to build them are up on your screen, as well as the cost of them at Onko's shop. We also received the natural Dojo decorations, which was announced in the last dev stream. So if you like doing Dojo fashion, you can now use numerous items such as grass fields, ice rocks from Venus or Pluto, red rocks from Mars, as well as the default earth rocks. You can also have a number of foliage and little bamboo trees. There's a lot of variety now when it comes to the natural decorations, so if you want to use them, they're available in the natural tab for your dojo. We also received a HUD damage indicator for Gara's Splinter Storm ability, and for those that like making dojo obstacle courses in your dojo, you can now place directional arrows in your course. Now going back to the amps that we got, we have some changes coming to the ones we already have. So for the Moat amp, they've converted the beam of the weapon to reflect that of the changes made earlier in the year to every other beam weapon in the game, as well as adding an extra 10 meters of range when it is gilded. For the Wrap Lack Prism, they've increased the damage from 1,000 to 3,000, the critical chance has been increased from 30% to 38%, and the critical damage has been increased from 2.2 times to 2.6, and the fire rate has been decreased from 5.4 shots per second to 2. For the Grand Mu Prism, the radial damage has been increased from 1,000 to 1,400, the radial size has been increased from 3 meters to 3.5, and the direct impact damage has been decreased from 1,200 to 1,000. The Pencha Scaffold will now add 2 meters of punch through to your amp, and the Kleb Rick Scaffold has also received the same change as the Moat amp, which is that it will now act like all the other beam weapons in the game. As for the changes to the base game, they've optimized the Chesa Kubrow's Retrieve Precept, they've made micro-optimizations to the precepts for the Helminth Charger, as well as the Sahasha Kubrow Dig Precept, and they've also made it so a sound will play when using the middle click selection in your inventory screen. As for the fixes for this update, they're up on your screen, you can read them here, or you can check them out in the forum thread below, as a link will be there.